Hey, what's up, Lucifron? Hey, everybody, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the games from Group A. Like they said, if you want to see that last game between Nurchio and Slivko, you can check it out at Nathanius on Twitch. He'll be casting it. But now it's time for us to head into Group B. Rhett has already taken an incredible lead 3-0. He's going to be going up against SKMC first. And he is 1-2 right now. So let's bring SKMC out on the stage. Guys, give it up. And now his opponent, he's on its air. Please welcome Liquid Rhett. Gentlemen, you both look very menacing. I'm going to need you to put that aside right now and shake hands like friends. Thank you. Let's get this game underway. Analysts, take it away.
And you. All right, guys, so this is shaping up to be a pretty exciting counter here in Group B. Of course, coming into this tournament, very few people would deny the boss toss, but MC currently sitting at 1-2 in his group, and Rhett up at the lofty heights of 3-0. He must be feeling pretty good about himself right now, but of course, more importantly, he wants to seal the deal here and move forward. What do we think we're going to see going into this lovely matchup?
Swarm host. From Rhett Swarm.
Yeah.
I've been watching his stream. As a fellow Dutchman, I need to support him. And yeah, he's been going Swarm host, Hydra's Swarm host.
I'm really excited for that because we haven't seen really any good Swarm host play so far. And as a Terran player, I never see Swarm hosts ever. They sort of just don't use them against Terran.
If he's gonna go mute us now, I will be so sad. Like, I'm really looking forward to the Swarm host as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious how to counter it. I played him a few times on ladder and I died. Like every time I just died. 4 times in a row I die.
Showing us how they really should be used. No, you're right though. We haven't really seen any good aggressive Swarm host usage yet today, but it's bound to happen at some point. And with the current run of form that we see Red is on, and of course the fact that he does it in streaming all the time, there's very little doubt that we should be seeing them at some point in this series. And I'm really excited to see if he can use them to their full potential here.
Red actually doing quite well, not just at this tournament, but recently he qualified for the ESET UK Masters. That's
right, man.
Tournament that
it's an amazing tournament.
The qualifier that he won, he actually beat MMA, myself, and Nurchio.
And Mana. I think he beat Mana.
Yeah, I think also Mana. To take that qualifier, which is quite an impressive lineup of players. So
Red is really good.
Yeah, he's doing quite well right now. He's been on and off. Red has definitely had some dark times.
Yeah, but since Heart of the Swarm, he's been playing so much.
Yeah, it's very much on at the moment.
Yeah, he's really...
Yeah, for sure. The light bulb, the light switch has been switched. Flick.
Flick.
And it's not an energy-saving light bulb. It doesn't take like ages to come on. It's just boom, instant, incandescent.
That's not how you say that word.
Yeah, it is.
Not in English. Not an American.
Not an American.
America.
We can run with that. Not an American. That's cool. But now I'm really excited because I'll be getting to see him there as well, of course. But for now, he's here and he's facing up against MC. Now, what is MC? Do you think MC has something specifically prepared against Red here?
Man, MC has like so many builds.
Yeah, I think MC is just kind of a player who does what he wants.
Yeah.
Goes where he wants.
Yeah. Mainly Void Race though.
I want to see a Protoss player go Void Race and lose. Because
that doesn't happen, man. I tried.
I'm really curious. Because every game, all the games we've seen so far, the Protoss player's like, well, I made Void Race. Now I win.
Why is that with a Russian accent?
Yeah, I don't know.
Slivko doesn't make Void Race, man.
It just seemed appropriate. Well, he just, like, I don't know. That just seems like a Russian thing to do. I'm not sure why.
making Void Rays.
And then winning. And then just winning.
Yeah, I guess.
You just make Void Rays and the game ends.
No, but MC also can throw it like, let's be serious for a bit. Can also do like gateway, all-ins. I wouldn't be surprised if we would see like a gate expand. Stargate play, he really likes Stargate play, so we're going to see Oracles.
His knowledge of timing.
Oh, you think so? This would be the first game that we've seen.
PVZ Oracle, yeah.
I don't think we've seen Oracles in any games.
I don't think we have yet, no. I think you're right there.
It's going to be amazing, his controls, so... Ah, well. That's just me.
Yeah, that's true. And with all of these things on the table for both players, guys, we're going to be throwing it over to our commentators as we get the game underway. Here with us are Apollo and Todd.
Thank you very much, Jarasar, and the wonderful friend you have over there. But now it's time for the boss toss. This guy, Todd, is the current world champion when it comes to Interstream Masters. He won Season 6. We're in Season 7. He's currently 1 win and 2 losses in his group. If he loses against Rhett, who is currently 3-0 at the top, then we're about to see our champion, our reigning champion, fall in group stages. It's not going to be a pretty sight. This is not going to be a pretty game, but it's about time we start it as we have Rhett, as you can see on screen, plays for Team Liquid, has done for a very long time. MC, the sole warrior of SK Gaming.
Yeah, Rhett has been doing great. As you said, he has a 3-0 score right now, but I feel like his 3 toughest matches are going to be the 3 last. Actually, he's already played first. Oh, okay.
Yes, he's beat first as well, which is a massive victory, considering first was the Interstream Masters Katowice champion. Rhett, in that very tournament, Todd, didn't even qualify for it. He went to the open bracket there and didn't qualify. And now he's playing in the World Championship, very much so thanks to his Home Story Cup performance, where he was able to grab a 5th to 8th place, which was just enough points.
Yeah. Really interesting results, actually. Like, I'm looking at those results thinking, what's happened in the games? I need to see Rhett versus first. And, well, Rhett, as Harston talked about, he likes to go for the Swarm hosts. A lot of Zergs have been having a really hard time against Protoss on Heart of the Swarm. But Rhett is one of those Zergs who's transitioned really well. He beat a couple good players in the MLG Showdown matches. He won against Feast with 3-1 with some really nice Swarm host plus Hydralisk composition to basically buy himself enough time to reach Hive and do some damage along with it in the meantime. And I wouldn't be surprised if he uses a very similar style here, even on Entomb Valley.
That's right, and well, this game is kicking off here. And we're about to see can Rhett top his group with a victory here. Very well could be likely that he could go through his first place, banking himself a minimum of $3,000, going straight to the top 8. If you win your group in group stages, you qualify for the quarterfinals. 2nd and 3rd place go to the round of 12. And already from MC, we do have a pylon block. MC, though, if we look at his Wings of Liberty career, Todd, you know, a 2-time GSL champion, is the current reigning IEM champion, Home Story Cup, DreamHack, Copenhagen Games, you name it, he's won it.
He's the highest earner in the game, so he's definitely had his successes. But I mean, in this tournament, he's not doing very well so far. We haven't seen him much on Heart of the Swarm, so did he practice enough? Did he refine enough good builds and strategies to be able to take the win here against Reds? We are going to find out. You know, MC in his interview, he seemed very confident.
Yeah, so especially against Zerg players.
Yeah. But, I mean, he talked about Zerg players who specifically use Brood Lords and Infestors, I believe. And Red was not really one of those guys. Red is one of those guys whose favorite unit is the drones. We nickname him the King of Drones. So there is a reason for that. He likes to play a very economy-based style. And, yeah, this transitions well to Heart of the Swarm. If you use the Swarm host to buy yourself time or even to do damage along the way while you secure more bases and you choose to take more.
And Red, on a personal note, for everybody, you know, this is Heart of the Swarm, it is a slightly new game, but Red approached the new game more so than just, this is a new game, I'm going to try my best. He actually has changed a lot of stuff within his personal life, new apartment, going to the gym 4 to 5 times a week.
Really?
Yeah, that's true. And he even attempted, and I don't know if I'm spoiling his secret, but he did attempt to quit smoking. Didn't last too long, but at the same time, you know, it's a mentality approach. He's hitting Heart of the Swarm very hard at the moment, and that's shown in his results not only in this tournament, in the previous tournaments, qualifying for the UK tournament, the UK ESET Masters, performing well, qualifying for MLG, 3-0 currently in this group stage.
Yeah, he's definitely been doing well as a Zerg player, Heart of the Swarm, and I mean, he has a tough opponent against him, but I feel like right now Red is the favorite if he really plays up to his full potential. So he's gone for the quick 3 hatches, which is really standard on Entomb Valley, but will he go for that Swarm host style we talked about? And even if he does go for it, where does he set it up? does he try to sit outside of the big ramp at the natural of MC or around the middle of the map and try to send some locusts in? There is a lot of possibilities, I feel, on Entomb Valley, and the Swarm Host is a unit where it can either be really good or really bad, I feel. A lot of people haven't figured out yet how to exactly use it, and on this map I feel like it's even more volatile than on the other maps. And MC, it kind of looks like he wants to go for a very quick third here. I mean, he's already sent a probe at his third base. He's gonna make sure there is no link around with the one Zealot. He's on one gate, right?
Yeah,
that's a very quick third here. I mean, we're
gate,
not even
3
7
Nexus.
minutes.
Very quick indeed here. It's about to come down, and Rhett will see it. He has an Overlord in position. And now Rhett, probably knowing Rhett, will just immediately take all the gases, continue droning, and tech to lair straight away, instantly. But the question is, Todd, from Rhett's perspective, does he use, as talked about, the Swarm Host from here? Or does he use Mutalisk, for example, having their changes in Heart of the Swarm being there faster, they regenerate quicker here?
I feel like on Wings of Liberty, if MC had done that, Red would have probably taken a 4th and 5th base. But with the new units, he has more things to choose from here. The Swarm Host we talked heavily about, he could go for Hydralisks and some kind of a push as well. Or even a low lane, even though it's not his style at all. And nice macro here. Did he even lose anything?
He's lost a drone in this game. 2 drones, sorry, but he is going to lose a Queen, so this will kind of... Oh, no, he actually didn't lose it yet. That's very surprising. That Queen actually escaped away. It was 1 hit away from dying here. And with more Lings popping, he's going to survive. So I was going to say that was going to hinder his progress a little bit in terms of lava production, drone production, unit production, but that's quite helpful there for Rhett. But he is all at 6 gases. The layer is about to complete. Now we're going to see what choice is Rhett going to make when it comes to dealing with MC taking a fast third base. We have a 4th hatchery coming down. What is it going to be? The Spire play. So he's going to Mutalisk in this game. He's got a lot of gas income at the moment.
And I bet Harstem is loving it right now with the heavy Swarmhost prediction. MC trying to get rid of those rocks between his natural and third. Very important if he wants to be able to transfer probes there. It's going to take a little bit more time, but he's going to be able to do it. In the meantime, 2 evolution chambers being thrown down by Red. And maybe Ling, Bailing and Mutas. I mean, after he goes for the Mutas, you need something to be safe. So usually you go for a lot of spines. But on this map, it's just so hard because you need to cover so much space with spine crawlers to be able to defend every base. So I understand the choice of going for 2 evolution chamber behind this.
But what is MC doing here? He doesn't have a robotics facility. He's not aiming towards splash damage. He's building stalkers and +2. Is that all he's aiming for here? To hit like what's it, 8-9 gateways at this point with just stalkers? Yeah, he hasn't even taken the gases on the third.
It feels like it right now, even though I feel like he could do this with more gates, because you see how well he's saturated. He's got 16 mineral probes in his main, actually 15 in his expo and 22 in the third. He's still making probes, so he's finally going to halt here for a bit, but yeah, even if he hits the timing here, I don't feel like it will be a complete.
He's completely blind though as well, until this very moment where he sends out the first scouting units, the hallucinated Phoenix. In this game, you do not need to research hallucination from the Cybernetics core. It's just a given gift to the sentries. And in come the Phoenixes. Will he spot the Spire? And it looks like he's going to there, and he spots the Spire. He now knows what he's playing against. How does MC play against this? Does he move out? Does he sit back, take gases, and defend? Because if he moves out, then the Mutalisk can come in. So what is MC looking to do?
I think he would definitely look to fortify his bases with some cannons, but he's actually moving out, which I'm surprised about. Even though he's about to get +2 and blink, his only chance actually to really make it is now, because we have a couple spines starting at the ramp of the natural of Red, and at his third as well. He's not even putting anyone in the force. MC, he wants to do some damage, but I mean, in the meantime, those Mutas are going to be to do a lot of damage to his economy. Those Lings might be able to run by. We see Red is doing something very intelligent right now. Instead of just flying with his Mutas in the middle line and attacking probes, he's getting rid of the wall. He wants to get in there with the Lings to be able to tank as well.
And Red sacrificing this 4th base. Remember, he's building spines everywhere. Roach production is starting. 1-1 for the Lings is about to complete. So we're going to see Red do as much damage as possible. And then I suppose in conjunction with the spine crawlers defending the natural, he's going to come back with all those units here. Red is looking to hold position on his natural. I think the third's just going to be given away, especially with force fields coming down. There's nothing Red can do here. At the moment, he is destroying all the probes, all the gateways back at home. Is he going to make the comeback?
And Red has absolutely wrecked the economy of MC. He's killed his third. I mean, all the probes in his third. He's going to be able to snipe the natural here, the Nexus. He could just run into the Stalkers with his Zerglings and his Mutas and be able to get rid of everything. In the meantime, he just has to defend his natural at home, and he will have won this game. But he does not have as many Spine Crawlers just yet. And they are spread out, so there are only 2 of those Spine Crawlers.
Oh, the Roaches get trapped. The Roaches on the wrong side here, and that's actually rather unfortunate. The Roaches, oh, look at that, they squeeze past, and I don't even think MC was aware of that they could squeeze past there, and they do escape, but the Lings and Mulus are going to destroy these Stalkers, even with their Blink running away. And MC doesn't look like he's going to break Rhett's natural, and Rhett seems to be at this moment looking to take map number 1. MC returns home to defend, and that's not going to be enough, and Rhett's going to be aiming towards a 4-0 in his group with taking map number 1 against MC here. Yeah,
great surround on the Stalkers. MC being able to blink later on, but he had already lost a lot of the Stalkers. MC is actually finishing the 4th base right now, which he had kind of neglected earlier. A couple of drones were able to transfer there. You know, one very good thing that Red could make right now is research the burrow upgrade, because there is no observer out on the map. And MC not being able to detect, will not be able to deal with that many Roaches. But Red just feels he has enough right now. He's going to go for the engagements.
Yeah, he's going to go for the engagement. Unfortunately, these Roaches do not have speed, if I'm a little bit... No, they do have speed, sorry. So they do have speed. The Lings, Roaches, and Mulus will chase these down. MC just has a handful of Stalkers. He just doesn't have enough economy. Rhett has doubled his opponent's supply count, is taking a 3rd, and continues to build units. MC is on 1 Nexus. He's on 23 probes.
And 38 army supply to 90 speaks for itself. MC, one Nexus, I mean, at this point in the game, you either go all in and try to finish it, or there is nothing to do. And MC is actually going to be defending. Red is nice enough to attack into MC. He feels he has enough. And MC is actually going to hold for now with some nice blink micro and positioning. Red is on the retreat now. A couple of those Roaches are going to be sniped, but behind this, Red is very smart. He makes a couple drones. He goes for the infestation bits. If he adds on, say, 5 to 6 Infestors or Swarm Host, both of those will be... I feel in this situation there is just only Stalkers with Blink. If he gets a couple Infestors with those Roaches, they will not be able to blink away, and he will win very easily. But he agrees with you, I guess.
But there's no Observer. There's only Blink Stalkers. They can't be seen. 1 Swarm Host is enough to just push MC back, because he can't see anything. And of course the Locust will be doing. Yeah, 1 man. 1 without an Observer is scary. And we do have the upgrade coming in, the duration for the Locust to increase them by an extra good 10 seconds. And here come the Swarm Hosts. And to be honest, Swarm Hosts at this point are just going to fortify these bases. I can't see MC doing anything. He doesn't have any more Nexus coming down. He doesn't have a Robo. He will not be able to see these units in the ground. And Mulus coming in to do a bit more harassment here as well.
And MC is not even bothering to basically try to retake an expansion here. He's just making as many Stalkers as he can and trying to end the game. But Red is not going to let this happen. He has crisp Red. He's being able to see those Stalkers. Oh, actually, he's going to try for a flank here. He has to be very careful. If he loses too many Roaches, he would be giving MC a chance. MC is going to have to retreat now because there's too many Roaches, he feels. But I mean, if he's not going to try now, when is he going to try?
And now the Swarm Hosts are out. So Red's actually safe on 3 bases no matter what happens now. Unless we see a robotics facility made, Red is safe on 3 bases. And that just means one thing, that he's going to race towards the 200 supply mark. He'll build the biggest army he can, and then we'll look to move out. MC probably knows this, is falling back, is taking a Nexus, realizes that Rhett can't be broken at this point. And this is where it becomes difficult, because MC now has to focus on trying to rebuild his economy. And we already see Rhett actually moving out to defend a 4th by the looks of it. Actually, where are these Swarmos going?
2 Swarmos run by. Maybe. Actually, he's just going to burrow those at the 4th base and maybe try to retake it almost immediately here. I'm assuming his main is almost mined out. And Red going for the engagement here. He sees there's a couple Stalkers. He sees there's probably not enough to hold this huge road force. And behind this, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Swarm Host trying to get into position. Those Roaches are basically just covering the Swarm Host so that they can get close enough to the Protoss base to keep on sending Locusts to do damage.
That's right, and they are heading right towards there. They're going to burrow just below the ramp, and they will start to send in their units. Here comes the Swarm. The Locusts are here, and they're here to stay. They do have 1-1 upgrades at this current point, about to have +2 Carapace, and MC is only going to be trading against energy here. Remember, not even energy, just free units, sorry, just simply free units. That's it. Good force was come down by MC here, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many Roaches he kills, there is nothing to stop the amount of Locusts and Swarm Hosts to keep on piling the pressure on.
Yeah, he does not even seem to be going for Observers at all. I mean, MC is pretty broke right now. He's just transferred a couple of probes to his expansion, and Red is just going to stream in with all of those roaches. The Locust will follow very shortly here, and he's just killing much enough to make sure that he wins this game. MC is going to call GG with 60 supply to 190.
And a sigh of relief from Rhett there as he takes his first map against MC. And in terms of head-to-head, Rhett doesn't beat MC. In Wings of Liberty, that is. If we're looking back to the previous game, Rhett has had an atrocious head-to-head record against MC in the majority of tournaments that he's met. And now Rhett is one game up against him, is looking to go 4-0 in Group B, guaranteeing himself at least round of 12. A big, big move.
Very well played by Rhett. He wants to be the first Zerg Bonjour on Heart of the Swarm, and he's doing very well at it so far. And I think we're going to give it over to the analysis desk, Harstem. I want to hear how happy you are to have seen those Swarm hosts.
That's right. Some excellent Swarm host usage towards the end of that game there. Of course, by that point, MC was not exactly in the best position.
Yeah, that game was completely over by that point. He really could have gone anything.
The one thing to say though, it was a really exciting, really dynamic game, and we saw, like, even quite early on, both sides trading blows non-stop in the early game. Harstem, why don't you talk us over a little bit about what happened, sort of when the two sides almost started to initially base trade?
Okay, first I want to go to the opening of MC. He went for a 7-minute third base, which gives you a really good economy and sets you up for a great timing at 10 or 11 minutes with normally 1 tech building and 8 or 9 gateways. You can do it with Immortals, you can do it with Blink, you can do it even with Charlotte Archon, even though it's going to be a bit harder with Charlotte Archon, but he went for Blink. It actually looked pretty good. Red was going for Mutas. Then there was one thing I didn't like about what MC did, and he didn't build a mothership core. If you're gonna go with Blink Stalkers, and you're facing Mutas, and you have a mothership core, you're gonna be able to snipe 2 bases, then teleport back home and play 2 base against 2 base.
Yeah.
That would be so amazingly good. 2 base against Mutas, your third base is gonna be about equal, and he just won't have the gas to keep up the Muta numbers with your Stalker numbers.
Right.
So
yeah, mass recall seems like it would have been a huge factor in this game.
I'm not sure why MC didn't do it, but let's hop into the game. And this is the start of the base trade. We saw Liquid Red targeting down the cannon first, then going for the pylon so his links could get in. In the meantime, MC focusing down the hatchery of Red, so just a typical base race. But the thing that Red did really well is that he built, he didn't actually try to defend his fort. He didn't defend his fort at all. He was like, okay, I lost my fort, that's okay. I would have even liked to see him not try to defend this part. Yeah. Just immediately go over here. I guess this won him a little bit of time, so he could keep on base trading like at MC's base, but I think retreating to your natural would have been fine because he knew he was going to get all the bases of MC, or at least almost all of them.
As long as he ends up 1 base, he's in a good spot. Yeah,
he's always in a good spot.
And he can just hold his natural. He knows he's going to kill MC's third and natural. Yeah. I felt like Rhett played this situation much better. He was like more aware of what was happening, what he needed to be ready for with all those spine crawlers. I almost called them sunken colonies.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, and whereas MC he just didn't seem prepared to transition into that base trade.
Yeah, he wasn't really ready for the base trade at all. I think he was wanting to get an engagement, but he didn't get one. So pretty sad for MC.
But really good news for Red, though, who's 1 game away now from almost clean sweeping his group. Of course, after this, we still have Red going up against Yoda, I believe, which will be our final game of today, day number 1 here at the Intel Extreme Masters. But right now, he's got game number 2 to prepare for. Let's see what MC can do to switch up his play and see if he can take a game back against Red. We'll find out, guys. Here are your commentators, Apollo and Todd.
Thank you very much, guys, for that analysis. And now we are ready to begin the next map over here, Todd. And, well, things are starting to heat up here for SKMC. If he drops this game, he's going to be in a world of trouble. And in terms of the ranking system for coming into the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship, MC came in ranked 2, just below Nurtio. Rhett ranked 23, only having competed and scoring points at Home Story Cup. And now it's about to boil down to this next game. Can MC come back? We're about to jump into the next map which is Daybreak.
Oh yeah, Daybreak, as I said before, definitely one of the maps that Zergs prefer to take. So the maps are made prior to the series, but yeah, that doesn't mean that it wasn't Red who took it. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. And we're gonna have MC starting in the bottom left-hand corner as the Blue Protoss, playing for Team SK Gaming.
And up here in the top right, of course, from Team Liquid.net is Liquid Reds. And just, you know, having a quick highlight over MC and why he's ranked 2. In the Intel Extreme Masters Season 7, of course, has had several stops. The first one being Gamescom in Cologne in Germany, where MC did get a 5th to 8th spot. Not his highest, especially in the Intel Extreme Masters. He repeated that in Singapore. And in Katowice, he wasn't there, but he claimed 3rd place at Home Story Cup 5, ranking him up to 2nd place here, giving him fantastic seeding. On the other hand, though, Ret didn't play in any of the stops, actually, only getting points from Home Story Cup 5. And here they do meet in the World Championship in Season 7. MC is the world champion, is the current champion. On that trophy that you've seen on the screen, MC has his name.
And that last game, it was definitely not your usual PVZ. We saw MC going for the very quick third, Red trying to counter this with some Muta play, and then MC going for a big strong push with 8 gates, plus 2 Stalkers and Blink. And Harstem raised a very good point by basically saying that if MC had Mothership Core, he could have just sniped 2 bases, recalled, and be in a good position where he can retake his bases, remake probes, and basically be able to defend and stabilize from there. The way he moved out without a Mothership Core, we saw these Stalkers, he had no choice. He had to go into a base trade. It's never good to go into a base trade against Mutas. You will very rarely win those. And yeah, Red knew that. He was very comfortable with the situation. He handled it very well. In this game, we see MC going for a Forge first. It's pretty much his trademark. We don't see MC going for Nexus first too often, really.
Do you think Ret's going to use Swarm Host in this game or Mutalisk play? Mutalisk, of course, being, I think, stronger for this map. In terms of distance from bases to bases, Swarm Host got to, you know, waddle their way across the map, and if they're caught out of position or if they're even caught outnumbered, then you aren't really escaping against a Protoss army here. So what do you think is the best option really for Ret to approach this game and to look for a 2-0 against MC?
You know, I totally agree with you. Mutalisk can be a better choice, but I feel like Red, his standard style right now, he's Swarm Host and Hydralisks into Hive Tech, and in the previous game we saw him go for Mutas, but that was just to try to counter the very quick third of MC, and in the end it worked. So it's not impossible that we see Muta, but I feel like Red's standard strategy is Swarm Host, and this is what we might see here, unless MC again does something that provokes Red into going into something different.
Well, MC goes ahead and does get confirmation that this 3rd base is down, even though against a player like Ret, you don't really have to be afraid of too many all-ins. The probability is incredibly low that Ret would do something, but MC is going to play by the book, he's going to play standard will check for that, and behind this is probably starting to build a plan on what he's doing. Of course, he's starting just chrono boosting into the probes at this stage, but as that Cybernetics core nears completion, are we going to see +1 come down? Is MC going to use Stargate? Stargate, especially within Wings of Liberty, seems to be his preferred style.
And you know that those Phoenixes have some extra range. I feel going for 4 or 5 Phoenixes into a macro game, a 3rd base, like Yonghua seems to do all the time, is definitely one of the strongest strategies right now in Hollow the Swarm. But a lot of Zergs have been doing really well against that. They figured out that if you make a lot of units, you can really delay the 3rd base of the Protoss, and you can just defend, you will be ahead economically. So it really depends on what exactly happens, and we do see MC go for the Stargate in this game.
And Ret here has an Overlord very, very close on that Stargate too, just slightly to the right here, if he does decide to poke in, which Ret is very much so about poking in. And he loves to poke in here and there just to check out what's going on. That sounded a bit wrong, didn't it? Sorry about that.
And 2 more gases being added on here by MC had his expansion. So very similar build to what Yonghua did so far. Goes for the Stargates. He does not make it behind his mineral line. This might be able to... Did he see it? Yeah, he saw the Stargate with his Overlord. So that's pretty big for Ret. He's going to be able to time the spores right when he wants them to finish. And since MC didn't make +1, I assume as well that Ret noticed it. I think he will realize that he does not need to make roaches in this game if he wants to, because you can just hold any kind of aggression without +1 with just a lot of Zerglings. So Red, I already like his position in this game. I mean, it's still too early to really give an advantage to anybody, and Red is going to start an Evolution Chamber, which could still mean anything. What do you think we're going to see, Apollo?
I have absolutely no idea from Red. I mean, he's playing relatively standard for the time being, just focusing on drone production, and also at the back of his mind he has defense, of course, because now he sees these units. He now knows about the Phoenixes being out there, so we should be seeing the Spore Crawlers come down, as you mentioned. We do have double Evolution Chamber coming down. Very interested. I think that depending on how well he defends this, Swarm Host is going to be the option, especially with +1 attack range coming out instead of melee here. So we should be looking towards Swarm Host, but it's all down to this little defense here. He's going to pick off the Zealot and surround it, but Phoenixes are coming in numbers here.
And I like how MC spoiled that he went for Phoenixes very early on to try to supply block Red. He did not achieve much so far, but I mean, if you wait, you're not going to do as much damage as you used to as a Protoss, just because the Zergs, they know how to adapt against target play now better than ever. And one interesting thing to note about MC is that he lives and practices with the LGIM team.
Yeah.
And so far, they have been extremely impressive. They haven't dropped a series except Yoda, who lost to first, I believe. And it was LGIM versus LGIM. So Yonghua is beating everybody. The other LGIM players are winning all of their games. And
that's true.
MC lives with them. He hasn't had an impressive showing like them so far, but if you look at his build now, I really feel like he's been talking to Yonghua during the break or before playing this match and maybe gotten some advice, because he's going for the exact same build.
And we have Red, building Hydras, which were spotted. The robotics bay needs to immediately come down here in anticipation for Hydra pushes. And there it does come down. He will go straight over to Colossus. The Phoenixes need to keep their job up. They haven't done the biggest amount of harassment, to be honest. The Queens have been untouched. Red's defense has been pretty spectacular. 0 drones have been killed. Not that many Overlords either. Red's brought back all his Overlords towards the Spore Crawlers. For the first time, we're actually seeing some damage dealt by these Phoenixes. But we do have the Infestation Pit on the way. And I'm very interested to see whether that's just for Hive Tech, which I think the approach from Red is slightly different from just regular Swarm Host play. Whether it's going to be Swarm Host Hydra, whether it's going to be straight up to Hive to get ready for Vipers. But
I think Swarm Host, there is a very good chance. But Red, he's been droning so well in this game. He's up to 67 drones right now. He's getting 16 more right now.
Yeah, and he's about to saturate that 4th easily.
Yeah, straight to 83 drones against 61 probes of MC. And MC, his third Nexus is about to finish, but he's just going to start saturating it now. He's going to start pumping out Void Rays out of just one target, which, to be honest, is a little bit pathetic at this point in the game, because you're facing Hydralisk already. There is a whole bunch of them. The Void Rays, you should just pump them out one by one. If your opponent is already well saturated on 4 bases, he injects well, he can just overpower you, and I think this is what we might see here out of Red.
In roughly 2 minutes time, we're going to have 2-2 complete. We have the Swarm Host upgrade coming out as well to increase the duration of the Locust in this game. And the composition that Red's trying to build, once again, if you haven't played that much Heart of the Swarm, it's all about Swarm Hosts, Hydras, and Overseers. Overseers are going to be killing off the Observers so that the Swarm Hosts are undetected, burrowed underground. And then eventually we can see Corruptors come into play, we can see Vipers come into play. And this is a combination which Red has had massive success with so far in Heart of the Swarm. And it's now going to come down to, as you mentioned, what practice has MC had? LGIM took the GSTL preseason Heart of the Swarm very, very seriously, and they won it with ease. And now we're about to see 2 Stargates being added on here. Is this just for increasing Void Ray production?
Yeah, I think so. And we see Red throwing down a Spire. I'm not sure, but I think he's thinking about making a whole bunch of Corruptors to really help with his army. He knows that the possibility for MC to go for all of those Void Rays is out there, and he's going to want to look to push with all of those Swarm Hosts and have enough anti-air with those Corruptors to deal with any kind of big Void Rays massing or even Phoenixes.
And this is going to come in different levels of difficulty now for MC, beginning at level 1 here with just Swarm Hosts, Hydras, and Overseers. Very shortly, we can now see the next level start to unravel, whether that's going to be Corruptors, whether he's going to throw down the Hive shortly and start to head towards Vipers and Broodlords. There's multiple levels of difficulty that can come out from Red here, and the second level is going to be Corruptors, so he's moving across the map now. And we're about to see, can MC handle this? He's going to pick off an Overseer, which is going to aid out the spotting, or at least help him indirectly to keep the Observers alive here, as another Overseer is present. Void Rays are being made 3 at a time. Red doesn't know about it yet.
I think all Red wants to do right now is be able to set up a contain outside of the third base of MC. Burrow is Swarm Host there. Actually, he's going to do that near the natural and start sending the locusts in. He's going to have Hydralisk and Corruptors covering all of those Swarm Hosts. And it's going to be so hard for MC to engage here. From there, MC needs to buy himself some time by killing those locusts, maybe force field 1 or 2 times before those can get in. And then once he's max, he can engage. Actually, MC not even going to force field. He's just going to start fighting. And I think this is a bad choice because he's only fighting against locusts right now, which are pretty much free. He started losing a whole bunch of units. The Observer is going to be chased and killed.
He gets kicked off there, and there's 15 Swarm Hosts here. That's so many. And with the Corruptors and Hydras behind this, Red's going to burrow, pick up, and just move all the time. As soon as you launch the Locust here, you can pick up and go to a different location and set up siege. And he's setting up that siege on the third base here. This is going to be very difficult. The Corruptors can come in from the high ground, pick off Overseers, pick off Colossus and the Phoenixes, and including the Void Rays. This is quite a difficult position here. We do have the Hive on its way behind it. Double Cybernetics Core coming down to increase the upgrades for air. Can MC hold this position here, Todd?
It's going to be hard, but I think he wants to fight very soon here. Try to get rid of this Hydralisk Corruptor first, to then have Void Race against the Swarm Host. MC is going to engage now. He uses the spell for his Void Race immediately to try to get rid of the units quicker.
There's still no Observer though.
Oh yeah.
There's no Observer. The Swarm Host can do so much here. No, there is an Observer. There is an Observer actually hidden in there as we see the Swarm Host falling down, but how much damage is actually being dealt under these rays of fire from both sides? Swarm Hosts still remain alive, and to be honest, I'm looking closer and there isn't an Observer. It's just splash damage from the Colossus being dealt out underneath.
Yeah, that was really fortunate, but I feel like Red, he's done enough damage here to be in a great position in this game. He almost sniped the third Nexus. He might be able to do it with this Locust. In the meantime, MC is trying to get rid of these Corruptors with the remainder of these Phoenixes and this Void Race, but the Nexus falls.
The Nexus falls, but an Observer comes a little bit too late in this game. Now the Swarm has been targeted down, but the Hydras come in as reinforcement. Red has 183 supply to MC's 106. Red is seconds away, minutes away from claiming a 4-0 in Group B. Absolutely guaranteeing his advancement through this group stage. And wow, how strong is Red performing here today?
Very, very strong. We saw Slivko really struggling to mix his units right, and now Red is showing us how it's done. He's mixing perfectly, getting about 20 Swarm Hosts, a lot of Hydralisk to cover them, some Corruptors. Red is going for the final push here. We have a couple Void Rays left, fighting against those Hydralisk. GG is called, and very well played by Red.
And Red goes 4-0 here, guys. The defending Intel Extreme Masters champion is now down 1 win to 3 losses. A very difficult position for it to be in, but congratulations goes over to Liquid Red. 4-0, a massive feat for him, especially considering, as we mentioned in the last tournament, the Intel Extreme Masters Poland, Katowice, he couldn't quite qualify for the main tournament itself. But here he is, advanced through, definitely here to another day.
Show him some love, follow him at Liquid Red on Twitter.
That's right, as he makes his way over to the other side of the stage to go shake hands with MC, but a dominating performance by Liquid Red. So let's head it over to our analyst desk to break that down.
Well, Red has done it, ladies and gentlemen. He's managed to take out MC, multiple GSL champion. MC not having the greatest of days here at the Intel Extreme Masters. Red, on the other hand, going 4-0 in the group. And some more pretty cool Swarm Host usage there. Hence the massive smile on Harstem's face. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say.
I feel like that was the most Heart of the Swarm game we've seen all day. And it was really cool to see.
Yeah. Man, Red played so well.
Yeah, that's a good point,
It's just like, he used all the units the way they should be used, I felt like. The way he used the Swarmos and the Mutas in game 1, even like just with the base trade, then going into Red just played really solid StarCraft.
Yeah, I felt like Red has a very solid understanding of the new units, how they work, where they're appropriate, where they're not appropriate, because no unit in StarCraft is useful everywhere.
Yeah.
And understanding that and understanding where exactly you want to use those units is what makes a player look unstoppable, where it seems like they're always making the right decisions, because they are. That's the whole point. They know when to utilize those units, where to use them to get the maximum amount of efficiency, the maximum amount of effectiveness, and that's really what I felt like we saw with Red. Is even though Heart of the Swarm is so new, his build just looked very refined, very polished, and MC just didn't have a response.
Yeah, no. We're actually going to be going into a moment in the replay after we head to main stage with Rachel to have a quick interview. I do believe she has located Red.
Yes, I have found him. You almost snuck away, but I did find you. You just took out last year's Intel Extreme Masters champion. So that's got to feel pretty incredible. Apollo was talking during your game. He said you're making some major lifestyle changes. You're approaching this game from every angle. Is that true?
I have tried to fix my lifestyle and eat healthy and practice more consistently, things like that. But I think everyone is doing that, so it's really not that special.
Well, I think it's working out pretty well for you. You've transitioned incredibly. A lot of people are complaining that Zerg is having a really hard time in Heart of the Swarm. What's different for you?
I haven't really played a good Terran yet, I think. Also, I feel like the Protoss players I played, MC and First, they didn't really abuse the fact all the new abilities in Heart of the Swarm for Protoss. They just played a standard macro game, and that made it like a lot easier to play against them.
Well, do you have a favorite new unit for Zerg? And I want to guess first, is it the Swarm Host?
Well, I like the Swarm Host a lot against Protoss, yes. But my favorite unit is probably still the Mutalisk, especially now that it's so fast and it regens so nicely. So.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to your next game against Yoda. We're going to go back to the analysts real quick, and then we'll have that coming up for you.
All right, guys, so we're going to take a quick look at replay here, showing some of Red's incredible usage of Swarm Host. Like Harstam said, using them the way they were meant to be used effectively during the starting phase of that final engagement against MC. So let's jump into the replay, and Harstam, why don't you walk us through what's going on here?
Okay, so after Red sent his initial 2 waves of Locust to the Cybernetics core and actually does manage to take it down.
That upgrade as well.
Yeah, the upgrade as well for the Void Rays. He decides to take the 3rd base under siege. Oh well, the speed isn't quite right. And first wave does kill a few cannons, and this is the hard part for the Protoss player. Like, he still has to move, so he's gonna lose all the cannons before he's even there. Then he's gonna lose the Nexus, or almost lose the Nexus, and he basically has to engage and kill those Locusts, because otherwise they're gonna kill the 3rd, and 2 base against 4 base is not what you want to do. So he activates the Void Ray charge ability.
Yeah, I don't know why though, because nothing he killed there was armored.
Yeah, I think that was the first mistake MC made. Then this was really good. The first, like, he killed quite a few Swarmers with the splash of the Colossi. Then the moment the new Locust popped, he should have moved back and kited them with 4 Colossi.
Or even if he's not really kiting them, he had a lot of sentries. He could have put down a wall of force fields. Locusts do not really get through force fields very well.
And they're going straight for the Colossi as well, Ret knowing exactly what he wants to take out.
This was kind of the moment where I felt like MC just didn't have as solid a grasp on how strong those Locusts were compared to Ret. Yeah. He got the Colossus too close, the Locust spawned, and then instead of realizing like Locusts do a ton of damage, he was like, all right, well, I'll just keep killing Hydralisk, and the Locusts were like, all right, well,
I'll just kill you.
Yeah, I'll just kill all your Colossus, and then the game ended.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. Red played really well once again, just using Swarm Host the way they're meant to be used, killing the 3rd, then forcing an engagement. That's what he did, forced the engagement.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see what Ret does against Yoda in this next series, and just in general as we continue through this weekend, or week, I guess it's
week, I guess,
probably Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
I think it's Tuesday.
What day of the week is it again?
All right.
The first day.
No, it's the Colossi unfortunately weren't able to get put to much use there by MC, as we saw. And interestingly, as you touched on, Ret mentioning he just doesn't think he's played like a really good Terran yet. And Yoda is certainly to give him a run for his money in the next game, which will be the next best of 3 up on the main stage, guys. So don't go anywhere. We're going to head to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, Liquid Ret is going to take on LGIM's Yoda here at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship.